Bona nit a tots,
Yeah,
bones
thank
noches.
you.
Anem a començar la roda de premsa del nostre entrenador de Gary Neville. Anem ja amb les primeres preguntes, per favor. Allí, Rovira.
Mister, enhorabuena. Enhorabuena por la victoria. Victoria necesaria, importantísima, sufrida, pero también remontando el Valencia, un marcador adverso y colocándose al final un 2-1.
Yes, I think that what obviously the game tells us today is that football isn't about putting on the best performance. I think that maybe the performance against Sporting Gijon was better than the performance today. More solid, more rounded, more polished. But today we get the results, against Sporting Gijon we didn't. I'm obviously happy with the result, but from my point of view, it asked us to be one small step forwards. You know, we've obviously have a big job still to do. And from my point of view, you know, we still just continue to work in the vein that we're doing. The spirit that the players showed towards the end, we did suffer, I agree. I think it was incredible. The fans were incredible tonight. I think they were at the most incredible when we went 1-0 down, where they stayed with us. They stayed with every single player. They stayed with me. And I am grateful for that, because it was a tough moment where Espanyol were playing quite well in that period. But I thought actually after the goal went in, I felt we responded in that with our best 15-20 minutes of the match to get the 2 goals back. And that, I think, is not down to tactics. It's not down to the coach. It's as much down to the fans and the way in which they responded to the team after the goal going in for Espanyol.
Hola, mister, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches. Quique Mateo, Gestión Radio Valencia. Congratulations, felicidades de corazón. Quizás lo más importante del partido es ver que su equipo otra vez recibe un golpe en casa, se pone 0-1 y ha tenido una cosa que demuestra que está vivo, es corazón.
Yes, I don't think we can be accused. I mean, the Barcelona game was a freak. That's not something that we've seen in any game before that or since. I think that from that point of view, we've come back, or had to come back, so many times in league games. Getafe, Vallecano, Real Madrid, Deportivo today. There's probably more. Las Palmas, I think, in the Copa del Rey. So from that point of view, it's not new for the players to come back. They've showed spirit many, many times. And I think that tonight they've shown spirit again. It was obviously a very difficult match. I don't know what the Espanyol coach has said, but I'm sure that he's disappointed tonight. And I've been there where he is, where I've come off and thought that maybe, you know, we could have got something out of the game and it hasn't gone for us. But from my point of view, yes, we suffered a little bit, but we got there in the end, and that's the important thing tonight.
Hola, entrenador, buenas noches. Salva Folgado en directo para la 97.7 Radio. Me gustaría preguntarle si está preocupado por el rendimiento tan pobre que ha dado hoy el equipo en las acciones a balón parado.
Sorry, I didn't understand the last part.
Yes, defending corners, defending forces.
Yeah, one thing I will say about the set pieces, yeah, I agree that you could point towards the fact that we've conceded a goal from them and we didn't defend, we didn't look too comfortable on them. The delivery was spectacular. I've not seen as good a delivery of that. It was pinpoint every single time. And every time the boy got the ball in the corner, I was thinking, I know exactly where he's going to put it. And that made it equally obviously even more difficult. But I agree, it's something we've got to work on. It's something we will work on because obviously we had some difficult moments from set pieces tonight.
Gary, Pete Jensen from The Independent. Your old Sky pal, Jamie Carragher, has tweeted tonight, Denis Cheryshev is Spanish from Mark Robbins. Well done, Gary. Does that feel like a fair comparison? I mean, are we going to be sitting here in 3 years' time looking back on the Cheryshev header that turned things around? Does it feel like a pivotal moment?
Carragher has always been a troublemaker. And he obviously hasn't stopped tonight. No, I don't look at it like that. I mean, from my point of view, it was a welcome goal. I thought Denis Cheryshev played very well. I think that you can see his quality and he'll get better and better because obviously he's not played too much football in the last few months, and you can see in the last 10-15 minutes of games we were actually going to substitute him a little bit earlier because of his cramp and the way in which he felt, but he just kept going and going. And he was in a great position. We asked our opposite wide players to be in that position, to be a goal scorer, and he did tonight. And I'm grateful for the moment, not grateful for the tweet.
Hi Gary, congratulations again. Obviously a great result tonight, but the defending, at times was like, you know, kind of all over the place. I know it was makeshift in personnel, but I think you've not kept a clean sheet in the league yet. How do you set about remedying this kind of in the week ahead?
I think that, I mean, when Ayman went off after 3 minutes, 3 minutes, I was like, I can't believe this. One, that obviously we have to disrupt our back four. Obviously, we've already got Gaia out. We've already got Mustafi out. We lose Ayman after 3 minutes. I'm thinking, you know, you think about that little bit of good fortune that you want, and you think, well, already in the game, we've lost a substitute, which we might need later on in the game, which we probably did need later on in the game. We've lost, obviously, a commanding centre-back in the air, which I think would have helped us at set pieces. And obviously, Ruben Vezo, it's very difficult to come on and adapt to a game straight away as well. So I think from that point of view, I think the defending got desperate more in the second half when the game became like a basketball match and we were chasing the game. They were counter-attacking on us. And I think it looked more desperate than maybe it needed to be because the game just went into an emotional game. The order went out of the window and it became an emotional game of football whereby the fans were pushing us forward, throwing us forward. João Cancelo was playing like a right winger, very well, I must say. But he was doing what I would want him to do. And I think at that point in the game, it was passion, it was emotion in the players who were just going forward and a little bit of order went. And that's maybe made it look a little worse than it was in terms of defensively. I've played in games like that myself where it goes end to end and it looks like you are a little bit unorganised. But I think that was because of the emotion of what was happening in the game. And sometimes as a coach, you just can't stop it. You just got to hopefully go with the flow and you come out the other side with a victory. And we did tonight.
Mister, aquí Héctor Gómez para Radio Sport en directo. Le quiero preguntar cómo ha vivido usted en primera persona su primera victoria como entrenador en España, porque en la banda se le ha visto muy nervioso hasta el último segundo de partido y si piensa que el idioma es un gran obstáculo porque a usted se le ve gritar y gritar a sus futbolistas, pero sí parece que no le entienden porque grita y grita una y otra vez y a veces parece que no le entienden.
I think they understand when they can hear. The problem is tonight with the noise from the fans, they couldn't hear anything that I was saying or anything that the other coach was saying. It's nothing to do with language. You know, I think from my point of view, I wasn't nervous on the side of the pitch. I wouldn't describe my state as nervous. I would describe my state at times as being obviously a little frustrated. But that's just the same for any coach who's playing in a game of that magnitude and that importance. You know, when I turned up at the ground tonight, and I saw, it must have been 5,000-10,000 fans outside the stadium. I was told that the atmosphere was going to be fantastic, but I never expected that welcome to the ground for the players. And I think you always knew it was going to be an emotional night, a night of passion where the fans were involved. And I think got carried away maybe at certain points in the game, but it wasn't through nerves. No, it wasn't through nerves. I think that probably would be the wrong description, really.
Hi Gary.
Vamos con las 3-4 últimas preguntas.
Jose Castanelli from the Times. It was a night of big decisions. Obviously, you chose to play Diego Alves first game in I think it was 9 months, and you know his actions have essentially helped you get a result tonight. I just wonder if you could talk a little bit about the decision to play him, and also I think you were going to bring Bakali on. It might have been twice. I'm not sure if I saw that. And you told him to sit down both times. It was just before each goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was just wondering if you could talk us through those tactical decisions as well.
Yeah, Bakali was like a yo-yo on the touchline for about 5 minutes, and I actually just apologised to him at the end and said I'm sorry because obviously we went from making another attacking substitution after putting Alvaro on to a point whereby we were winning the game and thinking, okay, we might need to just conserve a little bit more. So from that point of view, yeah, I apologise to Bakali at the end because obviously it's never nice when that situation happens, but he understood. I think in terms of Diego, I always knew it was going to be a passionate atmosphere, a fiery atmosphere, and a big night. And I just felt that Diego's experience tonight was something that was welcome. Obviously, he's been out for a long time, and there's obviously an element of risk when you bring someone back. But he's been on at me for a couple of weeks to play, and I've not felt the moment was right. But I just felt losing last week in the game in Sevilla against Betis. I just felt as though today it felt like the right moment just to bring him back and have that sort of experience out on the pitch. It's not a reflection on Matt or Jaume. It's not at all. I've got 3 fantastic goalkeepers, but I just felt tonight it was a night for experience, and that was what swayed my decision to bring Diego back in. And he made 2, well, I can think of 2 fantastic saves. One in the first 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes was absolutely fantastic, and obviously I'm grateful for the fact that he made those saves.
Hola, mister. Juan Carlos Alarcón de Plaza Deportiva. Hoy se ha ganado, pero el equipo ha sufrido en exceso en parte porque nuevamente ha vuelto a fallar, en mi opinión, ocasiones claras. ¿Crees que esto es lo que le está lastrando al equipo y lo que le ha impedido sumar más victorias en Liga?
Yeah, I don't think it was just missing chances today. I mean, we did miss a couple of chances, yeah, I agree, but I think that's the same for every football match. In the first half, I felt that maybe we were a little bit anxious in the final third. Maybe we just rushed our final pass and our final moment, and we need to be a little bit more patient. I actually felt when we went 1-0 down, I felt we played 15, 20 minutes. You're never quite sure when you're watching it live. You need to watch it back sometimes. I felt like we played really patient, calm football. The type of football that I wanted us to play, the type of football we practiced during the week with the team on Thursday on the training field. We knew where the weaknesses were of Espanyol. We knew where we could exploit them. And we knew that if we played that way, that we caused great problems. And I think for 15, 20 minutes, we really did play that way. But by trying to probe, but also have the patience. If we can't get the ball in from one side, we switch it through Dani Parejo, through Enzo Perez to the other side, and we try and probe that way. And if we can't get through the middle, we do the same, and we don't try and force and rush our attacks. And I thought that caused a real problem for Espanyol for about 15, 20 minutes, whereby we showed real patience and we controlled the game. And I'd like to know the possession from when they scored to when we scored our 2, because I think that was a key pivotal moment in the game for us. But I don't think it was down to missing chances tonight. I think that game, like you say, was like a basketball match at times in the second half in particular, and I think that it lost a little bit of order other than the period after they scored the goal.
Hi Gary, Rick Sharma, Bleacher Report. I noticed you spent a while downstairs after the game, I assume talking to the players, and just wanted to know what sort of things you said to them and what sort of things you want them to take from this game into the next game on Thursday.
I haven't spoken to the group in terms of it's very difficult. Then we have Athletic Madrid. So from that point of view, we've got a real big programme coming up of games. It feels better talking about that programme after a win tonight, but I think that from our point of view, you know, we have to approach Thursday differently than today, obviously.
Aquí, Mr. Neville, Javier Pérez del País. Con el pitido final del partido, ¿ha sentido alivio? ¿Ha sentido que se terminará el debate sobre su continuidad o no en Mestalla?
I think that, I mean, relief's probably a good word in some ways, because I felt that, that last 4 minutes, I know 4 minutes can be a long time in football at the end of a game, and a lot can happen. And from my point of view, Espanyol was still throwing bodies forward. They were still, getting the ball forward into our area, and we had to defend. And from my point of view, obviously, I wanted the final whistle to come as quickly as possible, because obviously we're in control, and it did feel a little bit like a relief at the end. You saw the reaction of the fans, you saw the reaction of the players. I think you saw everybody was a little relieved to get the win under our belt. I think it's, how many games? 13 without a win. I think 9 I'd had, and obviously another 4 before I came. So I think that's far too long for this club. And tonight, I think we need to be very clear that this is not a night for any celebration whatsoever. It's not a night to get carried away by any stretch of the imagination. The important thing tonight is that we do what we've done after the previous few weeks and gain some confidence from the result. It's a good feeling in the dressing room, and take that forward.
Last question. Última pregunta.
Excuse me. Hey, Gary. Dermot Corrigan here from ESPN. To say, as you said there about the relief around the stadium, do you think that will take a little bit of the pressure off maybe amongst the local media, amongst just the atmosphere around the club, and allow you to get your ideas across clearer at training, that the players will also pick up confidence and have more confidence in your own ideas and how the team are set out to play at the moment?
Yeah, I think confidence hopefully will push on from this. That's what obviously I want, is what we hope for. I think that in terms of the reaction of the fans and the pressure from the media and the fans, I think they're well within their rights and are correct to be saying the things that they're saying. I've not disagreed with anything they've said. They're the things that I would be saying if I was sat where you are. They're the things that I would be saying if I was sat in the stand as a fan. You know, I'm a football fan myself, and I've also worked in the other side of the game. So from my point of view, I've not just come over here and expect to be shielded or protected. I actually thrive on it. It's a challenge. It's a huge challenge. And I think from my point of view, I know I'm in a fight. And that's a good place to be for me, I think, because I recognise that, you know, we need to win football matches quickly, and we've done that tonight, but we need to continue from tonight. Tonight's not a moment for us to get carried away. And I think that it's important that we sort of use the confidence from tonight moving forwards.
Antes de acabar la rueda de prensa, el entrenador quiere también hacer un anuncio por parte de él como entrenador del Valencia.
Okay, just lastly, I'm not going to take any questions on this point, but there will be Paco Ayestaran will be joining my coaching team on Monday. Paco's been here before. It's not to replace any of the current staff. I'm delighted with what the current staff are doing. We're working so hard. I didn't come in with any staff to a football club, probably the only head coach to ever come into a football club without anybody with me. I think over the last 6-7 weeks I've assessed the situation. Paco's name was first mentioned and talked about with me and the owners pre-Christmas, where I felt that we needed sort of to fill a void within the coaching team from the point of view we have 24 players. We have a game every 3 days. And I wanted to bring in someone of experience alongside me and Angulo and Phil and Ocho to strengthen the team. And please don't interpret this in any way, shape or form that there is a problem with any of my current coaching staff or that I've got any problem. It's been happening this for 5 or 6 weeks in my mind, and I've been speaking to Paco for the last 10 days. And from that point of view, I wanted to announce it here to you tonight. We start work again on Monday. We'll train at 6 o'clock. And he will be with us, and we move forward and look forward to having a fantastic rest of the season. I won't be taking any questions on this point, and like I say, don't please interpret it in any way, shape or form that is any movement in my position. It's to strengthen my position and strengthen the position of our current coaching team. Thank you. Gracias.
Muy bien. Hasta el miércoles.